I don't know. Yeah, like Vic said, I don't know if it was like we're gonna win for sure, but the feeling I had that we could win was already like. I mean, I know you were feeling differently on the TSM day, but like, I came out of that day really positive because I was like, I know it's like so
As he
different.
always done if he has a good KDA. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
If he
saying.
just played around me.
When he lost and he's feeling good, he was like, okay. Let's go into it. There was one situation.
It was
if I recall
around
correctly.
Dragon.
Do you remember that?
He knows. I know exactly what he's talking about.
Go ahead, take it away. Take it away.
Hello and welcome to Pros, everybody. I'm your host, Kangas, and I'm joined by three pros. We got FBI, we got Palafox, we got Dhokla, the energy reunion. We got the gang back together, but this past weekend, you all were enemies. So first off, I think, order of business, welcome Dhokla back to the league. How'd it feel back on stage?
Felt pretty good. Was really exciting. Don't take playing on stage for granted. So just a journey from I reflected on just when I started to just getting back to stage now. It's nice and it was really fun playing with my friends and against my friends as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, your journey was so cool back like a couple years ago when you won Most Valuable Prospect in NACL, the first split there. So this is kind of your second comeback into the league as you played way back on Optic. What felt different? What felt the same for you?
In terms of just like playing on stage, or
yeah, just the whole environment, because LTA is a kind of a new region now, right? You know, we have the north, the south, we're all technically.
I mean,
one
it felt
region
pretty
together.
much the same. Honestly, I was just really comfortable on stage because I was just super excited to play. That was kind of it. I wasn't like nervous at all, really. Yeah, I was just really happy to be there. Sucks that we lost, but it was fun.
Sure. Well, I want to get everyone else's opinions because obviously you've all played together. So FBI, what was it like having Dhokla back?
Yeah, it's been great having Dhokla back. Obviously, we played together in the past. He's been a good friend of mine. We played together in my first year of...
Way back. My first year too, actually.
Yeah, in our first years of being pro back in 2017, so we go way back.
Wow.
So yeah, it was comfortable having him back, yeah.
That's 8 years ago now. That's crazy to think about.
Oh, sorry.
Freaking hell.
That's long.
What the freak?
They want to give us all an existential crisis right there or anything. But yeah, it's cool to see like the history that all of you have as players in this league. You've all been here for a long time now, so it's cool that you've even before you were playing here, you know, on the Energy roster. Palafox, and you got to win the series. You took them down. What was it like from your perspective having Dhokla back in?
Well, first game normal, second game normal, third game felt like he was kind of out to get me a little bit. I just hear, Reminiscing is missing, can go mid. It's like, oh, okay, it's fine, I'll chill. Reminiscing can go missing again. It's like, oh, okay. And the third time I was like, okay, this guy's really not playing for lane. All right. And then we had our weird fight in the bot side at one of the dragons, where he went on me, as Renekton, popped ult. I was like, okay. I popped ult. I just sat outside the bush with no wards. And if you look at just our two POVs, I'm standing S-keyed outside of the bush. He's standing in the bush. And we're just looking at each other while there's like, you guys are 4v4ing on Dragon.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Dhokla, what was up with that then? You're getting out of lane.
I was a useless piece of shit there. So I'm like, if I can keep him out of the fight, like, we have a better chance of winning a 4v4 than a 5v5. So I thought I was like, you know, I'm just doing the best I can.
That's strategic, you know? Yeah, you're just playing distraction.
I'm taking a sucker with me,
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Being the magnet pole man. But did you notice a difference? Because Shopify Rebellion, you've played against Under Thieves a couple of times now. Did you notice a difference with Dhokla versus Sniper?
I think it's like more like they were working better as a team.
Okay.
I think that, like, I did an interview before where I was like, it just seems like 100 Thieves is going through a lot of issues right now. Mm-hmm. And
Call is the worst team in the league.
Yeah, I mean,
he did. Yeah,
we'll talk about that,
dickhead.
Dude. Sometimes, I mean, back when we were on NRG, when your team is going through issues, even if you have any good individual player, it just doesn't matter. So, like,
great.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious, you know, just like outside looking in, had to work out some things. Yeah, and then obviously getting a new player is honeymoon phase. So.
Oh, so that's what you chalk it up to. That's why you lost a game versus the team you called the worst.
No, just practicing Annie, you know.
Oh,
it just
okay.
happens.
True. Well, I want to get Sniper's thoughts, not Sniper, FBI's thoughts, because you've been playing with Sniper, and I know that Dhokla, you were positional coach. From hearing, this was a 6-man roster situation going on here, but you got to play all 3 games with Dhokla. So what was it like from your perspective having a new top laner in?
I think it was helpful for our team because I think although Sniper is a great player, I think there are certain flaws that we weren't really able to iron out or kind of fix in the short amount of time that we had before we felt, the season is really short. So, just a lot of things internally that I'm not really able to speak about. So
Sure, yeah, that's fair, yeah. And I don't need to dive into too much of that. But Dhokla, I do want to get your thoughts on it also, because you were positional coach for Sniper. I know that can be like an interesting kind of dynamic then when now you're coming in as another player. But I want to just get your thoughts on what you add to the team as a player, because you're a veteran, you've come in with a lot of experience for the team. So how do you see like the issues 100 Thieves are facing and how your skill set can help out 100 Thieves kind of with a late season surge now?
I think I'd just give another voice in terms of just how to play the game. I feel like we're kind of directionless, or like we didn't have like clear way of like how we're progressing the game. So in that sense, I think I offer a lot more than Sniper does in terms of just experience in that department. So that's probably the biggest one. And then there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I'm not at liberty to say. Maybe one day, but definitely not here.
Yeah, well, 100 Thieves at the end of the year.
Let's revisit this after everything's said and done.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta ask, just because we're on that topic, what are the vibes like? Because it is an interesting position for you as players. You're basically playing to be like, hey, can we get picked up by another team for next year? Because 100 Thieves will not be around. So has that changed a lot of like the just mental or the vibes on the team? Because FBI, you've been there the whole time, right?
Yeah. Personally, I don't really think so because. For me, I think regardless of whether your team is staying or not, at the end of the day, we're all playing for whether or not we're going to be on a team next year. And there's no safety ever guaranteed. And I wouldn't say there's any added extra pressure. Obviously, I'm a bit sad to see the organization go, being the org that I won my first title on. And, it's just, I think 100 Thieves has been a really great org in the LCS. So it's sad to see them go. But in terms of added pressure, I don't really feel anything like that. And the day your play will speak for itself,
All right. Dhokla, it sounded like you were agreeing with something there. Did you have another thought on it?
I kind of lost my train of thought, but I think pretty much everything what Vic is saying. There's no added pressure. Oh, and it's like every year, like you're pretty much up for. Teams can just kick you no matter what.
Sure,
so it's not like you have a
2-year contract doesn't mean 2 years.
It's not like it actually means anything unless you have like some Bjergsen clause or something, And then so it's like every offseason is like an offseason regardless, unless you're just the best player in your role, pretty much.
Sure. All right. Well, hey, best of luck going into next week, which I want to start talking about now because, or rather, before I guess we get into next week, we can talk about some of the other series that happened. Y'all played each other, but there was another big matchup that happened this past weekend: C9 versus Team Liquid. So I want to talk about that one. Team Liquid has been struggling a little bit so far this year. I mean, they won the first split, but outside of that, they haven't done a lot of damage. So let's get Palafox's thoughts on this one first, because you're up there in that top 3 as well with Shopify Rebellion, kind of beating out Team Liquid in that top 3 standings. So did they look more competitive this weekend? Do you feel like this is Team Liquid because they were able to kind of push C9 that maybe they're back?
I kind of feel the same way that I think everyone might feel here. It's just TL's bot lane is really good.
And end of statement. And
I mean, I don't know. It just feels like the top side is like Impact slumping a little bit for whatever reason. I honestly you've kind of seen him go through slumps before and then becomes like a great player some other splits. So kind of slumping a bit. I think the loss of Umpty is like kind of big for their team. He was very much so like a big team player, and I honestly think their drafts made a bit more sense when he was playing. And then APA is it looks like he's like struggling a bit as well because like getting a bit less help, probably has to be more of a leader on that team, which is probably it's different, right?
Yeah.
And it's only been like one split, so.
Christian's always gonna have an opinion on the draft.
I definitely that game one, it really felt like they were playing through that bot lane. They were getting that lead, but they still haven't been able to close that out. FBI, as an AD carry, do you empathize with Jan and kind of the situation that he keeps finding himself in, where it's like he's ahead? It seems like they're winning through bot lane, but then they just can't get across that finish line.
I mean, yeah, definitely the first game with C9 was really tragic. I think in terms of the draft, it was a pretty hard game for Yunara to actually play the team fights. So even though their bot lane got a really big individual lead, I think transitioning that into the team fights, especially when Thanatos was getting really far ahead on the Rumble, inevitably, I think if the game stabilized and became somewhat even, I think C9 had the advantage in terms of team fighting in terms of the draft. But with that being said, when your ADC is up 3k gold at 15 minutes, you kind of expect to win the game. So
especially Yunara,
yeah, for sure. So it's pretty sad to see them throw that one away from an ADC perspective. Yeah,
it's tough. Dhokla, what are your thoughts on just Team Liquid overall and kind of what they're facing? Like, what do you see as the strengths and weaknesses of the team and how they can potentially come back?
How they come back? Can they come back?
Can they come back?
Any team can come
back.
back.
Yeah, actually, honestly,
they can come back.
They can come back. What's the next patch? Is anything changing? I don't think anything's really changing that much.
Some jungle changes.
A lot of junglers, actually.
Yeah. A lot of jungle changes.
I don't know. If the meta switches a little bit, I mean, I guess that would help them. But I think they just need to play better. I mean, that's really it. It's like the ball is doing good. Just play better is really what needs to change. It's not. I mean, they've won before. They were good before. They
just won split one. Like, it wasn't even that long ago.
Channel that same energy, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it also raises an interesting question with Cloud9 because they were able to weather the storm of the Jan lead and still close that one out. So it seems like there's two teams at the top of the standings right now. I mean, you see it up there. It was C9 that took that first seed. They were able to sneak that away from FlyQuest, choosing Shopify Rebellion. But then FlyQuest is the other boogeyman that I think a lot of pros are generally thinking is the best. So let's actually quick poll. Who's better, C9 or FlyQuest?
From my perspective, I think FlyQuest is a slightly better team.
FlyQuest slightly better?
Yeah, FlyQuest.
FlyQuest?
I don't even know. I just got here.
You'll wait to see what's depending on how the scrims and games go. But how close is C9? If we think FlyQuest is better, C9 have been so close, back-to-back 5-game series in Split 2. I think one of the best finals we've ever had in Split 2. That was such a close series. So, like, do we think C9 is within striking distance of Fly right now?
Well, we're currently blacklisted from C9 scrims, so it's hard for me to gauge their power level. Hopefully they can unblacklist us because I do actually think we've gotten a lot better, although we didn't get to show it this week on stage. So, yeah, maybe we'll keep you posted on that one. Yeah.
What happened to blacklist you from C9 scrims? How does that happen?
Well, you know.
Yeah, sometimes things happen.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Palafox, I want to get your thoughts. So how close are C9 to FlyQuest in terms of like power level?
I think, honestly, I think they're relatively close because like FlyQuest has the sometimes Whippo incidents, and then that leads to like C9's I think Thanatos is probably like their strongest member, right? So it's like sometimes it might just be like top gap, just randomly, and honestly, I think like the rest is pretty close. How do I put it? I think it's like a 60-40, you know what I mean? Like 60% FlyQuest, 40% C9. Okay. Yeah. And like on a certain day, close. Like C9 can definitely win.
Cool. But I'm happy to talk about the top lane as kind of the impactful matchup because Dhokla, I know you were watching a lot of the games. You were tweeting about it. You were very like vocal on social about like your opinion on draft and how games were going. So from your perspective, let's say 100 Thieves matches up against either one of them. If you got your choice, who are you picking based on top lane matchup? Like, who do you actually want to go up against?
Oh, I want to go against Whippo. I mean, I hate Whippo, so I want to go against Whippo.
You hate Whippo?
Yeah, this guy just shit-talked me for no reason. Like, his stream title was like all about perseverance and all that. And in the same breath, he just talks about my career. He's like, oh, you had one good year out of 6. It's like, that's a coin flip. I don't know if I would take those odds. And his whole stream title in that phase was just like, it's about the process, or it's about the journey, not the destination, all that. And then, yeah, I just hate him. So I would take FlyQuest for sure. Yeah.
So mostly grudge match then, it sounds like. You just want to put him in his place?
Yeah.
Okay, do you feel better if you're able to 2-0 Whippo, or would you feel better if you beat him so bad game 1 that Gatghost comes in game 2?
Well, I don't think that would happen, but yeah, probably just play FlyQuest into them. Yeah.
Okay, all right, there we go. Cool. Well, we'll see if that happens at any point. Well, if you think about it from this perspective, Dhokla, Fudge also, or rather, Bwippo also shit talked Fudge, and then Fudge made a big resurgence.
Yeah.
I mean, Palafox, you got to witness that.
Yeah.
Did that get in Fudge's head at all?
I don't know if, like, obviously it didn't, right? It just made him a better
Well, maybe
player.
got in a good way. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
It
yeah.
motivated
I mean,
him.
In a good way, like, stuff like that is really motivating to players,
Okay.
right?
Do you feel extra motivated, Dhokla?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Definitely, I think I play the best when I just have like a little hate in my heart. You know, it's like something to play for.
It's
If
true.
there's nothing
It's
on the
true.
line,
You gotta
then it's
prove
like,
it.
it's existing. But yeah, it just gives you that extra like motivation. Take every day seriously. Yeah.
I'm hearing like agreement, Palafox. Do you feel the same way? Like if you have something to prove?
I mean, usually when I'm like, honestly, I play better when I'm like a little bit angry.
Honestly, it's just more fun.
Really angry. You seemed really angry at the casters.
There was an interview. You brought it up.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I saw Dom.
We can
tweet,
talk
like,
about
I
it.
saw Dom
Absolutely.
tweet,
A
like,
lot of anger there.
the casters can't say anything.
You know, they were being really nice actually this week.
They're trying to correct the course. Yeah. Well, I mean, on that topic, and it can be, from my experience as a caster, it can be tough in moments when you're trying to toe the line between honest storytelling about how things are going in game, while also acknowledging that like players are humans as well, and sometimes you get things wrong about like how hard you go in on something. So from your perspective, what does it feel like from a player? Obviously, you were upset about this one instance, so I want to hear more of your thoughts on it.
I mean, I'll talk about it in a general way, which is just,
Sure.
I think that the casters, some of them aren't really like smart or intelligent about the game, which leads to like you don't really know like something that looks like a player's fault, their individual, like they're behind, right?
Sure.
It's like, oh, that player is just like getting shit on, right? A lot of the time that's not necessarily the individual's fault. It very well could be, but that's where it takes like somebody to actually pick apart if it's their fault or not. I'll give an example.
Okay.
In this game, in this week match, right, when I played Annie, I randomly gave a top tier 2 turret super fucking grief, right? I gave Dhokla like some free gold on Jax. That's me griefing, right? That's something to like pick apart and be negative about, and that's fine. But I think it's like when you don't know what's going on, just don't talk or just be smarter about it. It's like that simple.
Is there any casters in particular?
Yeah, you want names?
I
Well,
would-
when you said that some casters don't know what's going on in the game, I was like, yeah, no, that's me for sure.
He's talking about me.
No, but it's like, you know, it doesn't matter. Like if you're like, there's like some level to it, right? It doesn't matter if you don't know what's going on.
Sure.
It's just, you know.
Christian, say it with your chest.
Yeah, but come on, man.
I don't
You're in a safe space,
want to
mate.
point it out, man.
Well, Pros is a podcast, first off, where this is an opportunity. We want to give you the space to
Dude, they
talk
can
about
just
what you
edit
want
this
to
shit
talk
out.
about.
It's too toxic. Just,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I do have some context I can provide later, but first I do want to get your thoughts. Let you
Yeah,
air
I
anything
mean-
out you want to get out.
to be honest, it's just been so long that I just started it because before I used to listen to caster audio, and I just ticked it off. So like, I don't really like remember it too much. I just know like I got pinged a couple times about something, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out. I'll see if it's like, I'll see what I can work on, right?
Sure.
And then when I looked at it, I was like, oh, these guys are just idiots. Okay.
Damn.
Ooh.
And then after that, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna keep watching this. Right?
Okay.
So I don't have good.
Well, after the podcast, I think just to defend my coworkers, I'm gonna have to, take you out back, and we'll do a little tussle. But I did want to acknowledge one because I'm curious if this is what you meant in the initial interview, because we actually looked at it, and I mean, obviously, we want to make sure we're getting your stories correct, so we take it seriously too, and we were trying to do our homework of like, okay, what could have been the moment?
what made him down 140 farm?
So-
was it
so
totally the team's fault?
The instance that we were finding was there was a lower third that we had ran at one point that was like
Yeah.
showing the historic behind in CS but still wins the game.
Yeah.
And intentionality, sometimes we miss it, right? The mark of intentionality in that was to show You know, like Palafox is still good from behind. Like you don't have to have a lead in order to be impactful and win.
Right.
But then in the moment, in the game, when stuff's happening, it can go the other way.
What is
You don't sound convinced.
What are you thinking? Wait, what are you thinking, Vic?
That was just great conversation.
Well, let's get your thoughts on this, Vivek. Have you ever felt that something was said about you on broadcast? You're like, that's just wrong. Like, I think that they just got that incorrect.
Nah, not personally. I don't have it on the top of my head personally ready to go.
I feel like how they glazed me enough on broadcast. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, no, I think most players don't really care as much as Palafox what the casters say, but you know, to each their own. You know, if you feel slighted, then
For me, the context is just like I get annoyed and I'm getting like pinged about it and being like,
by who?
Some people are like, oh, why would they show this stat, right?
The plot thickens.
And then I'm like, okay, I'll look at it.
By who? People.
Just friends.
Well, don't what about you? Because I feel like this is it can't. I've heard other players talk about this before, so I don't want to like put you like spotlight on you because I feel like this is a thing. It's a very public job that you guys have, and a very high pressure job that you guys have. Dhokla, do you feel like that's happened to you in the past, where like something was said about you in game you didn't feel actually was accurate?
It's just a sport. It's like you have to have some drama going on. Like look at the NBA, for example. There's always some drama going on. It's like a reality TV show.
Yeah.
It's like at the end of the day, you're just players. You shouldn't really care about the outside, and honestly, you should try to play towards it and just build up the drama and get more views. I think that's the angle that I would go for. I wish I knew that when I was younger, but that's what I would do now. Yeah.
I feel like so there's the example of the negative side, but there is another side. Do you ever feel like somebody's glazed too much? Like the broadcast just talks too positively about somebody?
Oh, dude, every time they talk about Impact, it's like, this guy's been so good for so long. That's like, it's like a prerequisite to even say his name's like, he's been good for so long. It's like, all right, we get it. It's like,
well, now I know you don't watch the broadcast, or at least don't listen to the cast yourself, because last split historically was like his worst split. We actually ran a graphic. Actually, I think this was even split one. We ran a graphic that said, is this Impact's worst split? And he got solo killed while the graphic was running. Because historically, his stats are really
maybe
low.
Minus that split, but for, like, the rest of the time, it's like, that's like the one instance that stands out. I'm sure there's others, but that's the most notable one. Maybe
Impact is one of those legendary players.
I mean,
I think
it's
in general,
been good for so long, but it's like,
I can see it happening for sure.
Yeah.
Where you just attribute success to him, even if from a top laner's perspective, you're like, he wasn't doing as much as like maybe the broadcast was saying. Do you feel like that's happened?
I mean, I think it's somewhat fair though, because you know, at the end of the day, these players are legendary. You know, like they've had a really storied and great career, and they have been so good for so consistently long. So I do think they deserve somewhat of a buffer, if that makes sense. And obviously, I think Impact's buffer has worn out by this point. And I don't think there's anything wrong with, you know.
He had the Korean, the NA debuff didn't hit him for a while.
Yeah, I mean,
he pushed it off
long
for quite a while.
Some people get hit by it right away.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely fair for a player to have had such high highs and been consistently good for so long to kind of get that little bit of respect, I think,
Yeah.
And in Impact's defense as well, even today during the banner ceremony, he admitted that on camera. He's like, yeah, no, I've been playing very poorly. Like, I'm getting carried by my bot lane, basically.
Yeah, he keeps it real.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
for sure.
You got to respect that.
Not delusional at all.
Yeah. Anything else? Any other grievances, Palafox, that you have for the broadcast while we have...
Get him out.
This is your moment. Safe space.
All right.
All right. Well, I want to move on to talk about kind of the next stage here of the split 3, which is going to be the elimination phase. You can see all the teams right there. So I'm just going to go through the kind of final standings and first get your thoughts on how the final standings shook out based on our kind of power rankings and to see if they're kind of in alignment. There's one big one I'm sure, based on how conversations have gone, you will not agree with. First seed was Cloud9 Kia. Second seed, FlyQuest. Third seed, Shopify Rebellion. Then fourth seed, Team Liquid. That's our top 4. And then it was Disguised as 5th, Lyon as 6th, Dignitas as 7th, 100 Thieves as 8th.
Wow,
last place.
He wasn't kidding. He wasn't kidding. We were the worst team in the league.
Yeah,
wow.
Yes, based on the metrics that we ranked things out on. So just initial gut feelings. What are the teams that you're like, ooh, that surprised you? I mean, I feel like one might be obvious for the two of you of 100 Thieves in last place. But I'll let you think about that a little more. Palafox, I want to get your thoughts as one of the teams in the top 3. Like, where do you think the surprises are here?
I thought Lyon would be like 4th.
Oh, 4th. Okay.
Yeah, honestly, they got kind of unlucky. They kind of ran like
strength of schedule is tough.
Yeah, they played some good teams.
Yeah, I want to say it was C9.
FlyTL.
FlyTL. Yeah, TL was their win.
Of course.
Yeah, but that's a tough one. So you think that they could have been higher? And based on how the conversation goes, I think like C9 taking that first seed, everyone was kind of expecting FlyQuest there, just undefeated still. But just based on how like strength of wins went, they were able to take it.
Yeah.
All right, what else though, Dhokla? What else were the surprises on your end?
DSG, DIG, I don't think they should be in their spots.
Okay, DSG 5th
That's
seed,
not
they were able to take it.
Not a hot take. That's like the most lukewarm take of all time.
Sure.
Yeah, I just think the scheduling and the format is just, it doesn't put everyone in their respective like strengths. But over time, that's what playoffs is for. It'll even out, so
Okay.
it doesn't really matter. Everyone gets a chance to prove it in playoffs, so that's, yeah.
And I think 100 Thieves, again, you guys made such a late change that, like, being in last, I think, like, you still have a chance. We were actually looking earlier, Vic, you were doing the math, and, like, okay, so you need to win 2 series to make it to the cross-conference playoffs, and then, top 3 teams from there go to Worlds. The number 1 seed will, of course, just auto-seed in, because the lowest you could get is 3rd. But if you make it to top 3 here, you will go and represent the North in Texas. And then, of course, 3 series wins, or 1, 2, 3, 4 series wins, and then you auto-qualify for Worlds, I guess is the way to do it. So how are you feeling about current 100 Thieves and your ability to kind of run the bracket?
Yeah, obviously, I think our stage performances have been very shaky. I think there's a lot of things that we do a lot better in practice, and it's not really transitioning into stage, so we're definitely going to have to work on those things. But with that being said, I don't think... I really don't think that we're any worse than, or every team is above us. So I really think that we have a lot of potential to make it far. So I think it just depends on how hard we work in these next 2 weeks.
We saw how close you got in Split 1. So I know Team Liquid struggling too. Maybe Split 1 was a curse, actually, now that I think about it, based on the finals. But yeah, I'm sure there's still a lot of fans rooting for you. 100 Thieves is the last split. But I want to celebrate Palafox's top 3 based on positioning phase there, or the pick and play phase rather. You also got top 3 in playoffs last split. So how much of a stamp do you think this is of just like Shopify's the 3rd best team in the region?
Maybe it's like a stamp. I don't know how to say it any other way. I guess it's like it's cool. But I don't think it really matters at the end of the day. Like, I don't think any of my teammates are happy enough with just being 3rd. I don't think at the end of the split, if we're still 3rd, no one's gonna be happy, right? We all have like certain expectations of ourselves, and I think like we all just want to reach like a little bit higher,
Just got to get a little angry. Get everyone
playing a little
bit. In review, be like, why are we 3rd? We should be higher. There we go. All right, so elimination phase matchups. Let's go through some of them. I want to get quick thoughts. Shopify Rebellion, you were selected by C9. I don't know, I asked you in the moment. Live, it can be tough to kind of come up with thoughts, but now that you've had some time to think about it, how are you kind of settling in, knowing you're against C9 in the first round?
We're going to be against C9 or Fly either way, right?
Yeah.
So at some point, we have to be able to beat these teams or take games off these teams. And honestly, it's like, this is what we've been working for this entire split. So I'm just pretty excited. And honestly, like from playoffs last split against C9, I've just learned a lot on myself as a player, and like I guess about like what drives me even. I think it's like helped me improve a lot.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's a classic way to put it. I love it when players think about that as like, if we want to be the best, it shouldn't matter who our opponent is for the first round, right? Strength of schedule will only get you so far. But Dhokla, I want to get your thoughts on that matchup because, again, you got to watch from the outside. I know that you've been tuning in a lot to how the matchup has been going. What were your thoughts on last split, Shopify Rebellion?
They had one competitive game and then they just rolled over and died.
Ooh.
That's true. That's just what happened. But yeah, I will agree. Like being 3rd, it doesn't really matter since only 2 teams go to Worlds from NA, or potentially 2.
Yeah.
So yeah,
being
being 3rd,
don't disrespect the South teams. Huh?
Yeah, being 3rd doesn't really matter at all. So it's like that's some fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to be clear, being 3rd in the elimination phase does get you to playoffs, but overall, yes, in playoffs being 3rd.
At the end of the year, like if you're considered the 3rd best team, like no one really cares. So.
Yeah. Makes sense. All right, so C9 picked them over Team Liquid, though. I want to talk about that because that was the other choice.
Surprising.
Why is that surprising to you?
I feel like TL for sure looked like the worst out of the top 4, especially after today. But maybe they just think their bot lane is that good, where it's like they could maybe win, but I don't know. We'd have to ask C9 members what they think.
Yeah, we don't have any of them on, unfortunately. They're all doing a show match right now. Yeah. Blabber's got the crab claws on. But yeah, I think that was the big surprise, was expectation. But C9 just beat them as well. Victor, what are your thoughts on C9 picking Shopify Rebellion instead of Team Liquid?
Yeah, I mean, even though they beat them 2-0 today, I do think the games were pretty close. Obviously, especially game 1. I do think Team Liquid should have been able to win that game. Mm-hmm. And obviously, I don't know what's happening behind the scenes in scrims, but they probably have a better idea of who's stronger in their eyes than us. So,
yeah, their systems, you know.
Yeah.
They got them ranked.
C9 systems. Yeah, we know all about that. Next up, Fly versus TL. Thinking about that one, do we think TL has a chance? How many games can TL get here? No, no chance. Fly's just that good.
Fly just plays with an objective in mind, and it's very clear. TL is like they just do some random stuff, and
yeah,
it's a bit more RNG, you know. Okay. With Fly, it's a lot less.
Fair enough. So more controlled gameplay. If there were somewhere that Team Liquid could win, though, I guess it's kind of an obvious answer. It's probably just bot lane, right? We think Lyon can maybe get some.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Well, I think things get a little more interesting towards the bottom then. DSG versus DIG, we get the rematch. We just saw DSG win versus DIG.
Yeah.
And I believe it was Sven that was on the lounge beforehand, and he said he actually predicted Dignitas. Did you guys have like strong opinions going into their series that just happened earlier today? Dhokla, did you like think one of them would win over the other?
No. I had no opinions, actually.
No opinions? Any thoughts?
I thought they were both like equally skilled and Fiesta, you know?
Okay,
so, like,
yeah.
It was a banger either way.
Could go
Didn't expect the Malzahar pick. That was
the Malzahar pick was very interesting. As a mid laner, did you think it fit the draft? Like,
no, it was terrible.
It was terrible.
It was you were playing against Olaf and Nico.
Well,
wait, he picked into that?
They counter
no way he picked into that.
No, but that's the thing. It's like you're not allowed to pick Malzahar that early.
Yeah.
It's just illegal. Like,
dude, what's Malzahar's worst lane?
What's Malzahar's worst lane?
Or if they flex some shit around.
Well, like Malzahar doesn't have any good lanes, so like that's number one.
Every lane's the worst lane.
Yeah, I think the worst is that you know when I said like Nico, you can't really pick it and that champ's in the game.
Yeah.
It's because he clicks R and then Nico clicks R on your head and now your champ's completely worthless.
Because like the range is like about the same, right? Yeah.
Well, no, it's like you have to stand still and ult, and Nico can go sit as a creep and she won't even get ulted. Like it's not. You should not pick it if they can go Nico. It's just very troll.
Interesting. That was a tough game. They were able to bring it back though in that game number 3. And Darwin Salia, I think he actually played that one pretty well too. So, but now the next matchup, Lyon versus 100 Thieves, is the big one I want to talk about because we have 200 Thieves players here. I want to get your thoughts on the fact that, you're up against Lyon as your opponent. So I know, again, we got to talk about it a little bit during the banner ceremony, but now that you've had more time to think about the matchup, you know, what would you give your team's current odds of taking this match? Because Lyon are a tough opponent.
I think a pretty high chance, especially considering we play in 2 weeks. So we have a lot more time, obviously, to play with Dhokla, kind of mesh together with the team chemistry and just iron out a lot of our flaws. Same can be said for Lyon. Obviously, they have 2 weeks, but I think our playstyles are pretty similar. We're both very bloodthirsty, generally. And I think they're a really strong mechanical team as well. Their carries, Saint and Hannah, are very good players, obviously. And we have our own, we have Quid versus Saint. It's going to be a really high matchup.
That's always a fun matchup, yeah.
Even in scrims, when they verse each other, it's mid laners are always permanently at 10% health. So it's definitely going to be a fun matchup, and I'm actually happy that we got to verse Lyon because, like I've said before, we have been looking very bad. So I'd rather verse Lyon and have a chance to redeem ourselves and show that we do belong here and we do belong and we do have a good chance of taking the split. So
good stage practice. I want to actually dive into a little bit more of what you said about the matchup versus Hannah, because I feel like on broadcast we talk about Saint a lot just because of how much other mid laners have talked about Saint. I would love to hear your thoughts on Henna of like what makes him a threat, whether it's in laning phase or just in the game. Like from a AD carry's perspective, what are you thinking about when you know you're up against Henna?
I think Henna he's pretty different from the traditional Korean AD carry. I think maybe he came to NA with like a bit of an ego or something, but I think he's pretty bloodthirsty. Like he will ego you pretty hard and try to kill you whenever he has a chance. And I think that's pretty different from what I've seen from him when he was playing in the LCK. So maybe he just thinks he's better than the AD carries are. But I think he's a good player. Obviously, he's has good mechanics and good team fighting. But I think I'm better, so we'll see.
Hey, I like that confidence. You got to have that confidence. Dhokla, I want to get your thoughts now because you're also presumably, I mean, again, 6-man roster, so don't want to presume anything, but let's say that you are playing for Under Thieves in this match. You also don't necessarily know who your top lane opponent is because they've been playing with Surdy, and then Zamudo is intended to be the top laner. Visa issues, you have 2 weeks. You don't know who you're up against. How are you kind of approaching prep versus Lyon?
I mean, I feel like every top laner plays like pretty much the same champ pool, so it's not necessarily anything like crazy. So
have you seen Zamudo?
Oh, I know Zamudo. Yeah, I call him Z-Dog. Yeah, he's like the only outlier. That's why I like him.
He's been playing more meta like this past year in NACL.
He's been chained down, unfortunately.
Yeah, we haven't seen as much Warwick. He's got to unleash the beast.
Yeah. So I don't really. It doesn't really matter to me.
Okay, sure. Well, I mean, I'm trying to think if you and Zamudo had like a lot of overlap playing in Tier 2. No,
none. I don't think I've played a competitive game against him.
Okay. Well, have you matched up against like him in solo queue?
Yeah. I thought he was really good in solo game. He always has these weird picks.
Right.
He's like Warwick. Just plays like a bunch of random champs all the time. So that's why.
He likes ranged top laners too. Like out of anybody, I'm like, if anyone's gonna play Quinn, I think it would be Zamudo. Like he would pull out a Quinn game, a Vayne game, stuff like that. Yeah. All right, cool. Well. Best of luck prepping. Again, not knowing exactly who you're going up against, that can be tough. But Palafox, I want to get your thoughts because you played with members of 100 Thieves. So how do you feel about 100 Thieves versus Lyon? Who are you giving the advantage to?
Honestly, I mean, after playing with like Vic and Dhokla for so long, like I just have faith in you guys, like your own abilities to just improve at like a pretty good rate. And honestly, if you guys start meshing well as a team, like obviously. I think you guys can always just like have a chance, right? Lyon it's interesting because like obviously you guys talk about the mid match with like Quid Saint, but to me I think Quid is a little bit better at like skirmishing than Saint is. Saint's a little bit better at laning, and like at least like what I noticed about Lyon, like the only thing that really sets them apart is they'll go for a lot of fast angles. We call them at Shopify, we call them McDonald's fast plays because they either look really grief or they're fine, they're good.
Yeah. How does that relate to McDonald's?
Because you're gonna go work at McDonald's, you do enough of them, and they keep going wrong,
Okay.
But like you kind of saw it against FlyQuest, they quick dove it to Lyon, her TP back, and I don't think that there's many teams that like really look for those angles like really actively, except for Lyon. They're the only ones like in scrims on stage that I felt like really hunt for like, oh, this guy's out of position, let's just go.
Yeah.
Right.
They do play a fast game.
Yeah.
From an outside perspective, from a caster perspective, I see that as like Audilin and Lions often being the ones to start that. But in game, does it feel like they're the ones creating the pressure?
Yeah. Okay. I think that they have like. I was pretty surprised of them as players. I thought I know Audilin was like the GOAT of LAN for a reason, right? I was like, wow, he's like a lot better than I expected.
Okay.
I think he's like generally like pretty smart and like knows a lot of like niche timers. Sometimes it's like kind of grief though, but that comes with the territory. Sometimes you don't take in all the information that happens.
Yeah. There was one specific bot lane dive that I was casting. That was a fun one. But yeah, okay, cool. Well, happy to hear your thoughts on the matchup. Obviously, best of luck going into that one next week.
Thank you.
That's going to be all of next week's matchups. But now I want to go back in time a little bit because you were all on the same roster at one point in time. The legendary energy run. Yeah, beat G2 at Worlds. Thank you for that, by the way. Here, I'm just going to shake everyone's hand. I don't think I've ever formally thanked you. There we go. What made that team click? I want to hear from everybody of like what the vibes were like and why you think you were able to make the run. Dhokla, I want to get your thoughts first since we haven't heard from you.
Well, let's do it the other way around.
Oh, you want to go the other way?
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
we'll let you think then. FBI, let's get your thoughts. Because you were the new one on the team, by the way. Yeah, you came in that summer split with Ignar. It was Luger and Poom on CLG, and then Energy gets the spot. You're the new guy.
I think we obviously didn't start off too hot. I think we were 3-6 in the regular season. We weren't in playoff contention, and I think there was a particular game versus TSM at the time where we really hit rock bottom, I would say. There were a lot of heated discussions, and I think it was just overall changing our team mindset into believing that we could actually win the split, because I think that belief maybe wasn't there when I first joined within the team. And I think just fixing our mindset and truly believing that we could win, and then putting in the work, that's maybe the most simplest way I could say it.
Yeah, I mean, it might sound cliche, but believing you can do it, I fully believe is a big part of actually then being able to do it. Yeah. All right, well, let's get your thoughts, Palafox. Well, what made things click for Energy? Where was the magic from?
Like Vic talks about the TSN. You talked about it pretty tamely.
How heated was this conversation?
Dude, honestly, I think you were there for part of it.
I was there for all of it.
Yeah, you were there for all of it. I think it was after that TSM day, it's just I think Vic was really, really upset about stuff that day, and I think he needed somebody to talk to, right? And pretty much, Vic told me, he was like, I think you're a shit player, and I was like, okay, it's fine, right? And then I was like, I kind of also felt like, I didn't think Vic was a shit player, but I was like, there's something weird, right? That's happening.
Sure.
And I was like, I don't really feel like you're playing that well either. And I think that, I don't really know what we said about you. I think it was mostly me and Vic talking about, venting our frustrations towards each other.
Could I just jump in here real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I ever said he was a shit player.
That's what I took from it. But it's
okay.
Internalize.
His whole thing with the casters. You know how it goes. So what I was telling him was, I felt that his gameplay was designed for him to look good rather than to win the game. I never said he was a shit player. I thought that his priorities, at least from my perspective, in the game was he wanted to look good more so than he wanted us to actually be able to win. And I will stand by that at that point as well.
Okay.
So I never said he was a shit player. Carry on.
Yeah, okay. So anyways, pretty much I was just I don't know, I took it to heart. And then I'm sure that you probably felt better being able to actually vent the frustration. And I think it kind of just brought us all closer together as a team. And we all just kind of started I don't know, I felt like I could be more honest with you. You're probably feeling you can be more honest with me. And yeah.
I mean, it goes back, I think, to a little bit of what you said of you play better when you're a little angry. Is that the type of feedback that you appreciate from a teammate, that you want to have?
I mean, usually blunt feedback is it's the easiest way to improve.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll make you angry, but it'll rub you the wrong way, but usually people aren't saying shit to hurt you. I don't think that most people are malicious people. They're just
what about the casters?
No. We in your words, I believe we effing suck. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's different, right? I have a lot of respect for you as a player. So it's
likewise.
And you as well.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I mean, just I think being blunt and having actual respect for your team is super important.
Sure. All right. I think that I love that as well. Both of you had different answers, first of all, which I think is really cool because different perspectives from championship winning players on that roster together. But I can see that being a barrier to teams that are trying to win a championship if they can't be honest with each other and they can't have those blunt kind of conversations. All right, now I got to get your thoughts on this legendary conversation that happened after the TSM loss.
I mean, even after that team meeting, we still sucked for a bit. We ended the split 9-9, and it really kind of.
Didn't we win 5 in a row?
We were 9-9, but we were.
You had momentum.
We were on the upside.
Yeah,
we always beat the top teams.
Yeah.
And then lost to the
that was
teams.
it was the non-rational gamers. That's
But,
continued it on.
Yeah, I don't know. It just clicked. At least for me, finals weekend, I was just locked in.
Yeah, you were fucking smurfing.
I was smurfing that weekend.
Yeah.
But up until that point, I got carried. I remember the Golden Guardian series. The Golden Guardian series, dude, I had a stinker.
Was it Vayne? Was there a Vayne game in there somewhere? Or was that a different split?
No, the Vayne game was somewhere else.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, and the Golden Guardian series, I played so bad. But that was when Rumble was actually OP, and we kept giving it.
Were you given it on red side or blue side? Do you remember?
It was blue side, I remember.
Okay, do
We
you know
got
about
Kaiser,
like
though. We got
the...
OP
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know, it just clicked for us, and obviously we had a ton of coaches. I don't know how much can be attributed there, but obviously everyone played a part in helping.
You mentioned that finals though, you hit like, would it be like a Zen state or some kind of like flow state that you hit? Like what was that?
I don't know. I just roamed by, and I remember that one game against Team Liquid. I just roamed by. I was like, "Dude, this is gonna be so good," and it worked out, and pretty much saved the game.
The Rome top yesterday didn't work out.
And then I'm like, "Oh yeah,
It was a bit of a hit and miss situation.
Yeah,
You really thought it was gonna work again. It's like, oh, flashbacks.
It didn't work. Yeah. Well, it worked when it needed to. Who cares about a regular season game?
But moves like that, because I remember that as well, that Rome bot side. In the moment, the casters being like, ooh, this is like, if it doesn't work, this is a really rough play.
Oh, I had TP. It was gonna be good no matter what.
Yeah, it was the Rumble one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See,
But-
the casters did.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go again. They don't know ball.
But in the heat of the moment, these high pressure situations, what do you rely on to like make decisions? Is it just instinct? Is it muscle memory? Is it listening to the team? Like everyone come
muscle
together?
memory. No, I don't. It's probably just instinct. I mean, in the game, it was like, yeah, okay, they don't have sums. I'm gonna be 6. My wave's gonna be in a good spot, even if I leave it for a while. It's like those conditions. If they're met, then yeah, you can do something. Yeah.
Cool. And I gotta say, then also just winning the championship. You mentioned that the end of the season you started on an upswing. When did it feel like you knew, okay, we can win?
In the regular season, I think. I
Yeah?
think that split, I think we were really starting to become a good team. I don't know, like week 6, week 5, I don't really remember, right? But it was like sometime during the regular season where I felt, okay, like we're actually playing as a team. We're actually playing well as a team. And because we're playing well as a team, individuals naturally just look better. And yeah, I mean, I think obviously you can't know that you're going to win, but I think somewhere in the regular season, I was feeling like we had a really good chance of winning it.
Once you got it all off your chest for Palafox.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that happened, but yeah.
Getting that answer a lot from you today. Palafox, when did it click for you that you were like, yeah, no, we're gonna win this thing. We can do this.
I don't know. Yeah, like Vic said, I don't know if it was like we're gonna win for sure, but the feeling I had that we could win was already like. I mean, I know you were feeling differently on the TSM day, but like, I came out of that day really positive because I was like, I know it's like so
As he
different.
always done if he has a good KDA. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
If you
saying.
just played around me.
We lost and he's feeling good here. He was like, okay. Let's go into it. There was one situation.
It was
if I recall
around
correctly.
Dragon.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember
He
that?
knows.
Right?
I know exactly what he's talking about.
Go ahead, take it away. Take it away.
No. Realistically, so what happened is, I was like, Vic, I think we need to fight this, right? And then Vic full sent, and then I was like,
He was running for the hills.
no. I like,
It was long gone.
I started fighting, and then I was like, oh, this shit's lost,
Yeah.
right? But I was like, okay, I'll just leave because this shit looks lost. But Vic was like, no, we can win, and I didn't see the angle, and I was like.
Yeah, he called for the angle. And then,
Yeah.
I looked around. I'm like, yeah, you got me right. He was in the fountain.
Yeah. So
Bad in the stats.
my thought was like, there was something else that happened that game. I think it was.
One was 0-10.
Yeah.
Dude, they need to show this play on like the screen in between the podcast.
It's great on an audio medium for a podcast.
Yeah,
They just need to show what's going on. Find that game.
Yeah. So pretty much
I'm gonna
like.
go back and watch that game.
I called for the angle. I didn't see the angle, so I was like, I didn't see us winning it, so I was like, oh fuck this, I'm gonna peace out, right?
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
realistically, if I just committed, we would have won, I think.
Do you remember
And-
this moment in game, Dhokla?
No, I don't have such a
Guys,
vivid
emotional
attachment.
We were like the last two alive, I think.
I think I was watching from the fountain, so I didn't have the same emotional attachment.
I don't know. It's just like the feelings I got in that game was like, not even after that game, but it was like, I was like, okay, we're an okay team. But after the talk that me and Vic had, like, I just felt like pretty confident going forward, you know?
Well, there was one line, I don't remember how much the two of you remember this, but I remember this greatly from this time. Because I was a CLG fan, I was watching all of your guys' games when you moved on to Energy as well. You missed the CLG days, sorry.
I did.
But I know Contracts. There's a content piece where it's the two of you with Contracts reviewing a play that happened that didn't go well.
Yeah.
And there were some plays that went well, and we were just getting your reactions to like your own plays. And one of them, I specifically remember Contracts just giving this line of like the best teams in the world will play this line. Like they'll play the line.
I was there. I was there. That was
you were there?
on
I thought it was the two of you. Maybe that was
after our Golden Guardian.
It was when we were on that like couch, right? Like,
yep, you're on the couch, and I just remember that line from Contract, like the best teams in the world will play this line. If we want to be the best, we need to be willing to play that line. How much of that mentality do you think started being applied? Because when I hear you say like, oh, you saw the angle you called for, but then in the moment you realize like you didn't think that it was going to work out, but that's the line, right? Like you got to be able to play that line. So how much of that mentality do you think attributed to the championship run?
I mean, I think a lot of it really. Like, I think if we don't have that mentality of like, it's almost like if you fail, just don't be scared to try again. Almost is like kind of the way I see it. Sure. And a lot of the times, like, I don't know, you can kind of see like people playing more scared after something goes wrong, or like just completely change the way they play in game. And I felt like that's why we were such a scary team on Energy. Is like, even if something went wrong, we're like fucking maniacs.
I'll do it
again. We're ready to fight. We'll do it again.
Ready to move. Ready to move. All right. Well, Doug, I feel like I didn't get your thoughts on that specific instance, like the playing the line. Were you? Do you remember that conversation? I thought it was you, but maybe it was FBI that was in there. But like,
we were all in there.
That was
It was the whole team.
Ignore might have just been sitting there.
Ignore sleeping.
I think for one content, he literally didn't say a word. He just sat there the whole time.
Legendary player at the scene. But that line, do you like think about that as a player, and from your perspective?
I don't really think about like that specific line. I mean, it's just like, yeah, you always want to do the best you can in game. And currently, I think the coaches are like, "Where's your line?" Because I think they go for some crazy shit. But
try something.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's just a good mindset to have with just like how you approach. Just like you need to learn where, up to what point you can just keep pushing.
I think that's good advice for all pro players. So thanks so much for coming on, guys. This
Thank
is
you.
awesome. Getting to reminisce about Energy, hear about your thoughts of the past, air some grievances. I feel like, can we get like a hug from the two of you? Maybe a handshake. Let's get a handshake.
We're not. Me and Nick aren't mad at each other.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Mad at you. You might be.
We're going out after this again. That was confirmed already. But thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. That's another episode of Pros. Make sure to tune in next week for the upper bracket of the Elimination Phase. We'll see you there.